Our viewer asked me recently, I feel very attracted to this person. There is chemistry, there is tension, there is excitement, but at the same time, being with them feels complicated. Not dramatic, just strangely uncomfortable. And the confusing part is if attraction is here, why does it feel so hard? And like a lot of people, I know this state too. When everything looks right on paper or feels intense emotionally, but something inside keeps whispering, hmm, I'm not really relaxed here. Not bad, not wrong, just not easy. And this is usually the moment when people start blaming themselves. Maybe I'm too picky. Maybe I'm scared of intimacy. Maybe relationships are just supposed to be hard. Or, my favorite one, maybe this is just what real love feels like. So the real question here is not should I stay or leave? The real question is how do I tell the difference between attraction and real compatibility? Because they often feel similar at first, but they behave very differently over time. Here's the reframe. Attraction is about how something feels to your nervous system. Compatibility is about how your life feels with that person. Attraction pulls you in, compatibility lets you breathe. And confusing those two is one of the most common relationship mistakes. Not because people are naive, but because attraction is very convincing. It has great marketing. Attraction is loud. It says, look at this, feel this is special. Compatibility is much quieter. It says, you can be yourself here. You don't need to perform. You don't need to explain your basic existence. And here's the tricky part. Attraction often comes with intensity. Messages late at night, deep talks on the second date, emotional fireworks. And the brain goes, wow, this must mean something important. But intensity does not automatically mean fit. Sometimes it just means two nervous systems recognize a familiar pattern. Not a healthy one, just a familiar one. It's like meeting someone who presses all your buttons and calling that destiny. Compatibility, on the other hand, is surprisingly unsexy at the first glance. It shows up as easy silence, boring honesty, normal disagreements that don't feel like a treat. And many people think, where is the spark? But the spark was never meant to hit the whole house. It's great for ignition, but terrible as a long term power source. And yes, sometimes compatibility feels too calm, and that's when people panic. Because calm does not always feel like love when you are used to emotional roller coasters. Calm feels suspicious, like something is missing. But often what's missing is just drama. For practical understanding, here's something simple that you can notice. When you imagine a normal day with this person, not a day, not a vacation, not a deep talk at 2 a.m., just a regular Tuesday. Do you feel lighter or more spacious? Do you feel like you need to manage yourself or like you can simply exist? This is not a test, just an observation. You'll see, life gives you very honest feedback when you stop asking it to be exciting and let it be real. Before we end, let me tell you a small story. Imagine someone goes to a cafe and orders a very strong coffee. The barista warns them. This one is intense. The person takes a sip and say, wow, this is powerful. I love it. So they come back every day and order the same coffee. After a week, they are anxious, not sleeping well, slightly aggressive toward innocent people. And one day, barista asked, "Why don't you try this other one? It's smoother, less dramatic." The person tries it and say, "Hmm, this one is kind of boring." The barista smiles and say, "Yes, but this is one you can drink every morning and still function as a human being." Attraction is often that first coffee, strong, memorable, a bit overwhelming. Compatibility is the one that does not impress you every time, but quietly supports you all day. And the funny thing is, most people don't quit the intense coffee because it's bad. They quit because at some point they want to live the rest of their life too. Some things are great to taste, some things are meant to stay, and relationship usually tell you which is which if you're willing to listen. So, attraction is not the enemy, and compatibility is not boring by default. They just play different roles. If you have a question like this about relationships, feelings, confusion, or curiosity, ask me. Link in bio. And remember, just be alive.